Hey guys, I hope that everyone's doing great. Um, what time is it? About to be 4 a.m. in the morning. I sort of just wanted to give like a bit of a story time, really. Um, More like half story time and half, you know, my explanation on why I play chess. I feel like I never really quite explained that. A lot of people know, for those who probably can get the implication just from my videos that I love Blitz and I love chess. But I feel like a lot of times there are many people who don't really explain how they got into chess or why they actually love chess. And I'd like to, I want to explain that actually. Like, why do I play chess? Like, why do I love this game that drives me crazy, that sometimes gets me breaking down, or sometimes gets me feeling like I'm with ecstasy or I'm at the best point in my life ever. And yeah, let's just delve into it. So basically, the year is 2009. I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna go with that bullshit. Basically, I was very small, and I think maybe I was 6 or 7 years old. No pun intended. Actually, no, yeah, no pun intended. Like that's not meant to keep up with the garbage slang or whatever this generation's into. It's simply how I try to remember because my memory is a little bit fuzzy. And I think maybe I was probably like 7. And I remember I was at this graduation ceremony or this award ceremony at my elementary school. They were giving medals to a lot of kids, the smart kids, the athletic kids, kids who really did good in exams, etc. And then there came these group of kids. They didn't have to be talented or smart or anything like that. They were just, players from chess club. And they were given awards simply for playing a game, at which at the time I thought like, oh, you're telling me these kids got an award simply for playing a game where it involved moving a bunch of sticks like pawns, rooks, queens and kings and whatever. You're telling me people got an award just for using this piece of crap. And it seemed very dull. Like I couldn't really wrap my head around it. Like, how can you get an award, or why do people give awards to, people playing this crap? And then my father, at the time, my mom and him weren't really like together or anything like that. And he would come visit me. He would he would work and he would give us money, to pay rent and meet ends meet. Well, I say meet ends meet, but yeah, to ends meet, pay bills, pay rent, and he would help us out a bit, but we weren't living together. And one of the things that we used to do was that when he came over, he would be playing chess with me. So I kind of found it fun. I thought it was like pretty much one of the only hobbies we ever had that we ever spent time doing together. And he would play like a game or two before he unfortunately he left again, and I didn't really see him much. And really, the main conclusion that I've drawn, even now, like when playing chess, is that I'm not doing it. The majority of times, I don't do it out of a sense of happiness or passion, even though I do have passion. I do it out of a sense of wanting fulfillment and validity from other people. When I play chess, when I go to these tournaments, a lot of the time, generally I want people to generally just talk with me and, you know, I don't want to say admire, but like at least acknowledge that I exist. And, they point to me and tell me like, oh, you are such a kind-hearted person. And I said that in a weird way, like I don't know why I said kind-hearted, like that. But just acknowledge that I exist and that I'm a person who generally just wants to be known. I just want people, to be comfortable around me, to want to talk to me, and to want to acknowledge that I exist and that I do have some talent in my life. And for some reason, in middle school, I remember I got obsessed with wanting to be the captain of a chess club. I remember I was crying actually because I thought that I was being a terrible team captain, and I was a scrub. I acted cocky, I acted very stupid. And when high school rolled around, my mother told me, "Hey, like, do you remember those tournaments I used to take you back in the day when you were, you know, had long hair and you went to these tournaments like UCF or tournaments, tournaments here in America?" I'm like, "Yeah." She was like, "Hey, do you ever want to be interested in going to that again?" And at the time, I was pretty much a degenerate. Like I was pretty much rotting away in my bedroom, and I kind of still do, but more so back then it was very severe. I was just playing online chess and really just kind of living a very toxic type of lifestyle. I wasn't really happy. So I was like, yeah, why not? Let's do it. And when I returned to over the board chess, I instantly just like propelled. Like I went higher and higher. I went from 1100 all the way up to like 2000 or 1900 within like a year. And I felt extremely proud. When I went to the club, I realized like, fuck, I needed this in my life so much quicker than now. Like I needed this so long ago, but I never had it. And when I went to the club, I got to see so many new faces, so many different people. And this is kind of where I guess you could say that I'm crazy because I pretty much my friends or quote unquote friends that I'm in a group with, they pretty much joke all the time that I really only hang out with people who are younger than me or way older than me. And I have friends with like a bunch of Cubans or Hispanics that are like 50s, 60s, whatever, and they just joke like, Brian, like you don't really have friends that are your own age. And I'm sorry, that's just my life. Like I really do not have actual relationships. I don't know how to have an actual relationship. And I strike to seek some form of validity from these people over the one connection that we have, which is just like I generally feel like spending hours there on certain days, like that makes my life. Like that generally makes my happiness feel complete. It makes me feel full as a person. And sometimes I will have very sad days, and I'm not gonna lie to you. In other videos, I have expressed my negative moments of chess, like how I broke down when I got scammed, how I broke down when I really was being told that I was good to become like a chess master. I just needed a little bit more, and that broke me down to tears. That I was crying in a stranger's car, and that shit literally was really, really just fucking terrible. It was just something that I wish never could have happened, but I just couldn't keep it in anymore. I'm so sick of this idea that simply just because you know you're young and you have a lot of time that you will eventually find friends and you make friends and you do all this stuff, but it never really appears that way. It never really feels like everything sort of comes in together. You sort of just find your own way, and even then everything just kind of shit. Like nothing ever makes sense, and nothing ever really feels like it's gonna be good for you, or it's gonna become being greater or hopeful for you. If anything, the majority of times everything just kind of felt like false hope, because really at the worst moments in your life, all you can do is just hope that some bullshit works and that maybe your day becomes better, but it doesn't. And yeah, I'm just, again, I was obsessed with the idea that chess is honestly a game where it didn't matter if you were black, white, gay, trans, whatever the fuck might be. It didn't matter if you're rich, poor, or it didn't really matter what status you were. It was a game that just united people regardless of your disability, of your health, or your psyche, really anything. And it made you feel a sense of communion and unity, despite this being a very stupid game with nothing that's just been adapted for literally centuries. And really, it brought me a bit of, I don't want to say closure, but fulfillment. Like I felt like I could actually go at people, and even though we didn't understand each other, maybe there sometimes would be language barriers, we both knew the rules, we both knew what we were playing, and we sort of felt like, oh, we could hang out and we could play blitz. Like we could hang out and play whatever, and we would never really get tired of it. Like we would just keep going at it and at it. And there's many stories like this. There's many people like who just keep playing hours and hours and hours. Sometimes they even bet money, but at the end of the day, they just keep on going, not just because they make a lot of money, simply just because for the fun of it, because they really have nothing else to do. And, I felt really depressed and really crazy over this game that I was willing to like sacrifice a lot of time for it, and I got to NM. Yet I didn't feel the happiness that I thought I would. I felt more like closure, that I made a promise that I would get there for my late mother, but I didn't really feel any sense of ecstasy or fulfillment other than just a closure in my chapter of my life. And I graduated from high school. That was about it. Didn't really feel fulfillment either there. And even now, like right now, I'm about to turn 21 in 2 months, like in September. I genuinely just play chess simply out of validity and the fact that I hope that whatever I do now, it feels impactful. That people will actually, again, they want to acknowledge my existence, and they'll be able to relate to me, because life sucks. Like, it really just sucks. And you know I know you're probably getting tired of me rambling, like, oh, why is a stranger rambling about nonsense at 3 a.m. in the morning? But that's just simply how I am. And there are days where I just can't sleep, or I can't really say much. And I genuinely just want to feel wanted, and I want to feel a sense of community. So for me, chess has always just been one of those things where, like, oh, I could actually maybe sometimes even show myself unfiltered, and I could find people who genuinely wouldn't mind being around me, and in fact, would actually want to look at me right in the eyes and say, like, oh, you're a really cool guy. Like, I wouldn't mind spending time with you. And it's a lot to ask. It really. I even shouldn't even be saying that. I shouldn't have to say that it's a lot to ask. It really should be like the most minimal thing, but it's just so hard. I'm very socially anxious, and I never really felt like I was popular. Like, I remember elementary and middle school, I was like always bullied, and it was just very crazy. Like, I was being ridiculed, and I never really felt like someone that really kind of fit in. I sort of felt like that one weird kid that was always out. So for me, I don't know. It just feels like a blast from the past, really. And yeah, um, if you want to get into chess, have fun, enjoy the game, enjoy making friends. Don't really feel sad when you have your low moments. I know you're gonna get sad, but what I mean is, like, don't don't get angry with the amount of toxicity that there is in the community. Like, sometimes there are people who are gonna laugh at you. Sometimes there are people who want to bring you down, make you feel like you're your lowest. Don't let them. Try and enjoy the game. If you do find people that genuinely care about you, that genuinely ask you every day, how you're feeling, let them into your life. Like, try to be friends with them, etc., and try to form a bond through this game. And yeah, I mean, I genuinely, I do it out of validity. I do it out of acceptance. I don't really do this out for money. I don't do this for anything else other than my emotional psyche, which is feeling like I gained some type of validation from others by being good at a fucking board game, which is just insane. So yeah, that's kind of why I like chess, and that's kind of how I got into chess. I simply, again, I looked at YouTube videos, and yeah, I don't know. I was just a stupid kid in this fucked up world, just wanting to get some affection from other people. So yeah, that is my video, and love you guys. Hope you enjoyed my story, and love you. Thank you.